Morning everybody. Good morning. First of all, introduce myself. This is Muzaffar. I am a HSE trainer, and today our topic is the fire extinguisher, fire safety, and fire extinguisher use. Let us know also about yourself. Your name, please.
My name is Suresh. My decision is discovery department for me.
Thank you. What about you?
My name is Extinguisher and my name is Robert Sir.
You?
My name is Rajesh.
My name is Jessica.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Rules for a good meetings. There is some criteria about the good meetings. First of all, provide information related to the scope route. I will tell you about the emergency response plan. If you have any emergency, where you have to proceed. The second, if you have the cell phone, just like listed to all of them, please silent or either need switch it off. Then second, laptop must remain closed during the trainings. The third, the schedule established for the meeting agenda must be followed. So this training section will be the 30 minutes. After 30 minutes will be our training section is the completed. Then we will go for the exam. Then third, the last one, the room must be left clean and tidy. I need your support from the cleanness and tidiness from our training course, our toilet, our premises. Okay. Emergency escape route. If in case of emergency, follow the some steps. There are some guidelines about the emergency procedures. First of all, move away from the emergency situation. If you have any emergency, if you hear any alarm or any emergency siren, you have to proceed from the emergency assembly point. First, when you enter that room, that main entrance, you have to forward on the step. There is one assembly point. Then the second emergency door from this training shop, that one you have to go out, then take right, and then you have to go down from the left, then you have to reach that same assembly point. Okay. If there any emergency, just call to that number XYZ and for the further information. Leave the nearest assembly point, whether for the further instruction. Until you have to stay there, you have to get any information from our head or our supervisor or our leader. Okay. For the evaluation criteria for this training program, after the trainings, we have to go through the some evaluation. There is some designation regarding to the some scores for the different designation. For this designation, such as the manager, supervisor, HSE team, they have to must be 80% marks or above for this pass. Okay, either for this 70, you have to go for the retest. Either if it will be below the 70%, you have to do the retrainings. For the others, such as from the welders, riggers, helpers, other designation, you have to need to be the 70%. For us, either it will be the 50% or below, or in between the 50 or 70, you have to go through the retest, or either it's below the 50%, then you have to go through the retraining. So, if you have any doubt during the training section, please let us know from your I have to clear your doubt. Okay. So, in this training section, we have the 8 chapters or eight modules in this training program. First of all, objective of the training. I will explain what is our motto of this training. Okay. The second, introduction about the fire triangle. What is the fire and what is the fire triangle? I will introduce about this. The third, classification of the fire. How many class of the fire? I will introduce about also this, and the type of the fire extinguisher. How many type of the fire extinguisher? Where you have to use? Where you have to use? I will explain also this one. And you have to, if you feel any bored or any you need a rest, you have to go through the also e-break. And the sixth, fire extinguisher summary. In this training section, after you have to revise what you have to learn through that in that training session, you have to go through that also summary. The seventh concept explanation about the rest and the pass. What is the rest? What is the pass formula? I will explain to also this one. And the eighth, quiz program. Now after that we will go through the quiz program. Now we have to our that fire triangles. We have to go through that our fire triangle. What is the fire? You know? Anybody know what is the fire? Yes. Yes. Oxygen, fuel, and heat. These are the three things we need to create the fire. But we have to mix in one bottle. The three things they will not take a fire. These three things in between them, one most important thing chemical chain reaction. Okay, then we have to create the fire. That oxygen, fuel, and heat. In between this chemical chain reaction, then we have to create the fire. Okay. There are the some three components need to create the fire. Also, fire extinguisher remove one or more of the components. When we have to use the fire extinguisher, no? That fire extinguisher remove in between the three one component from the fire, then fire is going to extinguish. Now fire classification of the fire. Basically, there are the four classes of the fire, but I tell you about the five class of the fire. The first trace, that's known as the class A fire. That's known as for the wood, paper, cloth, etc. This for the solid fire. Class B, liquid fire, gasoline, oil, grease, oil we consider the petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. or other solvent material. Okay. Let's see electrical fire, such as our computers, our laptops, our machine, fax machine, other energized equipment which is run by the power source. Okay. Any electrical equipment which is run by the power source through the electricity is considered our the electrical fire. That D, combustible. That means also the is known as the metal fire. Magnesium, sodium, potassium, titanium, or other. That is also considered the is metal fire. Okay. And then fifth is the class A fire. Recently reorganized by the National Fire Protection Association Article 10. It's also one that recently reorganized by the class A fire. Fire involving combustible oil, large and fires in the commercial cooking. It's also considered out the class A fire. It's known as the kitchen fire. There's its limitation of the our UFL upper explosive limit, area lower explosive limit. Upper explosive limit, if you cross the our cooking oil upper explosive limit, it will go into the. Now I am going to introduce about the fire extinguisher body parts. Okay, there are the different types and different parts name from the fire extinguisher. First we go through the discharge level, discharge blocking pin, discharge hose, discharge nozzle, discharge office. This one is the whole body parts. This one is the data plates. Data plates store on the type of the fire extinguisher. It will be the maybe it's class A fire, for the class B fire, for the class C fire, and then pressurized and not found the CO2 extinguisher carrying under. Then pressurized gauge. It is the one important thing. It is not in the CO2 cylinder. So you can see here our the CO2 cylinder. That CO2 cylinder they have the no pressure gauge. Okay. This will be also only in that water, either dry chemical powder, either yes, no. This will be also powder. Yeah. It was or the pressure gauge only in the 2 or 3 cylinders. But if this is the one main thing. The CO2 cylinder don't have the pressure gauge. Okay. Extinguisher, it is the pressurized or depressurized. We have to go through that pressure gauge. Okay. Green, that means yes. Red, that means discharge. Not okay. Yeah. 30 to 40 feet maximum effective range can be started and stop as necessary. We have to stop or started as per our requirement through that our nozzles, through that our levers, and therefore fire extinguisher by cooling burning material below the ignition points. That it's our water, it's remove the heat from the fire. That water what we do, it's remove the heat from the fire. Okay, so it will go through the cooling points. Okay. Now our second carbon dioxide. It's also known as the CO2. CO2 that's food from carbon dioxide. We have to use for the class B fire. That means liquid fire. Any liquid fire we have to use that our class B cylinders is also not related to that CO2. Class B or class C fire. Wherever class B or class C fire. Okay. 2.5 to 100 lb of the CO2 8 to 30 second discharge. Before it will take the time, it must take a time 1 minute. It will take to 8 to 30 second. 8 second to 30 second. Depend on the capacity. If cylinder is a small 2.5 liter or less than 2.5 liter, it's going to the less, or it will be the high, it will be the large, it will be the big, it will be going to the increase the also time. That has no pressure gauge capacity verified away. Without pressure gauge. This cylinder has without pressure gauge. 3 to 8 feet maximum effective range extinguished by the smoothing burning material. Effective decrease as the temperature of the burning material in the increase. That means it will be the it will remove from the fire. That's a smoothing system which remove from the fire through the air. Fire also need the air, no? Oxygen. So that you have to apply the CO2. That means it remove the oxygen from the fire. So this cylinder will do effective for the multi-purpose dry chemical. Class A fire, class B fire, class C fire. This fire extinguisher for the multi-purpose. Either you have to use for the solid, either you have to use for the liquid, either you have to use for the electrical. So we have to use for the multi-purpose. It is known as the dry chemical powder. Extinguished by the smoothing burning materials. It's removed from that fire. What is removed? Extinguished by smoothing burning material. That process remove the fuel from the fire. That process remove the fuel from the fire. So it will be also considered in the multi-purpose dry chemical. The next one, our slides is going to the pressurized water. If you apply the water on fire, it's known as the cooling. If you apply the carbon dioxide on fire, it's known as the smoothing. If you apply for the multi-purpose dry chemical powder, it's known as the smoothing. Okay, these are the three things you have to extinguish the fire. Stop it. Now, I am going to introduce about the what is the race. Race, rescue, A. Alarm, C. Contempt, E. Extinguish. There is a subsection rescue the personnel from the immediate danger. And if any emergency will be happen, you have to what we do? You have to rescue from the personnel from the danger. The second, alert. You have to alert the everybody. When you have to contact in your case, you have to alert for the everybody. Either you have to raise the alarm, either you have to call anywhere, either you have to by the verbal communication. Okay. The third content, close the doors and windows. And the third is the last one is the extinguish if it is possible. If that fire is going to start or either it's a small fire, if it is possible for extinguish, you have to extinguish the fire. Stop it. Now the next section is the fighting the fire, the pass formula. What is the pass? There is one section for the pass formula. PASS. That means first of all, spool the pin. The second, aim at the base. That means aim the fire. The third, squeeze trigger. How to trigger that fire extinguisher? There is squeeze the trigger. And the fourth is the sweep side to side. You have to turn around the fire extinguisher while about the time. But one main thing, you have to focus on the air direction also. Okay? The flow of the air direction. There is our fire. There is our fire safety. There is the summary. What we have to learn about this. What is the fire? We have to learn the classification of the fire. We learn this. Also that portable type of the fire extinguisher and how to operate it and limitation and the capability also and the basic firefighting media also. What is the race and what is the pass. We are going to start our huge program for this our training session. The first question is that fire extinguisher marked with A is useful. If there is a fire extinguisher on A, where you have to use during the fire? For the oil fires, for the electrical fires, for the paper and material fire, and C, none of the above. Yes, which is the right? C, above it. Yes. Okay, thank you. Question 2. Fire extinguisher marked with B can be used on where you have to use the fire extinguisher B type during the fire. The first option is A. Paper and press, B. Oil or grease, C. Electrical, and D. None of the above. Ritesh, which is the right? B. Oil or grease. Oil or grease. Okay, thank you. Please, Question 3. Fire extinguisher mark A, B, C can be used on where you have to use the A, B, C type of the fire extinguisher. A. Wood and paper. B. Electrical. C. Liquid and grease. And D. None of the above. Yes, you. D.
All of the above.
All of the above. Thank you. Now our fourth question is that fire extinguisher mark with D are used for where we have to use for the fire extinguisher D type. The first combustible chemical, B magnesium, C potassium, D other flammable metals, and E all of the above.